already we have discussed this area first term. Now this question 2020, you see first question is related to first term. Understand? Look at that first question is related to first term. So that we are going to discuss first question. And then you see, look at that question. Now, here it is said that, pay attention on that. After completing a professional course, Asha commenced a beautiful salon named Amasha and appointed Amara as its manager. Asha invested 500,000 obtained through a loan and rupees 200,000 from her savings in his business. She bought a building worth of rupees 600,000 and the balance was spent to import modern equipment for the business to deliver a high quality service. She and her trained staff are ready to provide service at any time by either visiting customers' homes or at the beauty salon, considering the convenience of the customers. Now look at this paragraph. Now just try to understand when you are given questions on business studies. You see, first question is, this is the model. You are given a case study, small case, and by referring to this case, you have to answer these questions. Now look at first question. Classify this business according to the following criteria: ownership, objective, scale, and production sector. Now please start answering that question. Now start answering. Start answering. First A, B, C, D. As you wish, you can write the answer. Thereafter, we are going to discuss it. Classify this business according to following criteria. Already, we have discussed this area. Based on ownership, how businesses are categorized. Based on objectives, how businesses are categorized. Based on scale, how businesses are categorized. Based on production sector, how businesses are categorized. How businesses are categorized. Now, write to answers. Yes, I feel that it is easy for you to manage. Now look at the possible answer according to mark scheme. Now look at the answer. Yes, based on ownership, private. You are getting single mark if it is correct. Based on ownership, private. Based on objective, profit objective. Based on scale, small and medium scale business. Based on production sector, service sector business. You know that based on ownership, businesses can be categorized as private sector and public sector business. Now this is a private sector business. Based on objectives, business can be categorized as profit objectives and non-profit objectives. So that this is a profit objective business. Based on scale, businesses can be categorized as small and medium scale business and large scale business. Now, this is a small and medium scale business. Based on production sector, business can be categorized service and then industrial sector, agricultural sector, industrial sector, and service sector. Now, this is a service sector business. Understand? Now, this is how we have to identify businesses based on different criteria. Now, look at question number 2. Briefly explain. Describe whether Asha's business fulfills a need or a want of a person. Briefly describe. You have to describe very briefly whether Asha's business fulfills a need or a want of a person. Just try to identify your answer. Briefly describe whether Asha's business fulfills a need or a want of a person. Now look at the paragraph. After completing a professional course, Asha commenced a beauty salon named Amasha and appointed Amar as his manager. Our question is, now look at that. Briefly describe whether Asha's business fulfills a need. Asha is what? It is a want, because you see, her business is a beauty salon. Her business is a beauty salon. So that it is related to, it is not a need, it is a kind of want that Asha is able to satisfy. Then description is concerned. Now look at that. Then not essential for existence. Then you see brief whether Asha's business fulfills a need or a want of a person, so that it is a want. Then you can identify, you can explain what a want is, or some characteristics of wants. Now wants are not essential. No, wants are not essential. Wants are complex, and wants are unlimited. That type of you can explain very briefly. Understand? Now this is how you get the answer. Now look at next question. B part. Name and describe 2 tactics. Upakrama deka. Tactics. Except the price. You see now, for example, there are some price strategies. There are a number of promotional strategies used by business. One is price strategy. Now there are some promotional strategies, price strategies, various strategies can be practiced by business people. Our question is that name and describe 2 tactics except the price that Asha has adopted to increase the demand of customers. Increase the demand of customers. Yeah, see whether you are able to understand. Now here you see, Amasha, you see manager, Asha invested here, obtained through a land. Now these are details. She brought a building worth, these are also detail, import modern equipment, and was spent to import modern equipment for the business to deliver high quality services. She and her trained staff are ready to provide service at any time, either visiting customers' homes or at the beauty salon, considering the convenience of the customers. See whether that paragraph giving you any idea related to the answer. Our question is that name and describe 2 tactics except the price tactics Asha uses or Asha has adapted to increase the demand of customers. Then you see the marketing you see marketing strategies, price, place, promotion, product. There are 4 you see strategies. First one is price strategy, and then place, and then product, and then promotion. Just try to understand. These are marketing tools. These are called marketing tools. Now there are 4 marketing tools. First one is price tool or price strategy. You see, various business people use price as a strategic approach to market their products. The other one is place. Place is also important marketing strategy. And then the other one is product. You see, differentiating the products. And then you see, adding some, you see, options to the product and changing the shape of the product. And then promotion. Then you see, maybe advertising, maybe after sales services, whatever. You see, maybe sometimes you see the mobile marketing, that type of strategies are used. Name and describe 2 tactics except price strategy. Yes, Himashi, is the idea for you? But adahasක් තියෙනවා කි? Anyone? කාට හරි අදහස් තියෙනවද පුතේ කියන්න? 2 strategies used by Asha.
Using modern equipments and providing high quality service.
Yes, very good. Using modern equipment. Here you see in the passage there are. She uses modern equipment for business to deliver high quality products. You see, now quality product is concerned. Quality product, it is a promotional strategy. Quality supplying quality product is a promotional strategy. What are the other strategies except price strategy she uses? Anyone? නිකාම මම උත්තරේ කියන්න නැතුව අපි පොඩ්ඩක් ඩිස්කස් කරමු. Now, one is here high quality service. What about this one? Provide service at any time by either visiting homes or beauty salon. Providing service at any time. It is a kind of strategy. The දිවාරාත්‍රි සේවය කියලා හැමති ඒවත් strategies. The other one, you see, considering market, you see, customers' convenience. Look at the answer, possible answer. High quality, modern equipments. You see, high quality, modern equipments, convenience, visiting customers' home, providing services at any time, provided services at any time. You see that high quality, that is also correct. Here the possible answer. High quality, modern equipment, high quality product she uses, convenience, visiting customers' home, providing services at any time. Look at that and start answering that question.
So is that enough if we describe only 4 or 5 lines for that question?
Yes, that's enough. No need to describe too much. You see, but you see, very you see, precisely you can explain it. Don't explain too much. You see, for business studies, too much explanation is not needed. Now here, high quality, then you can use at least 2 sentences or 3 sentences. More than 2 or 3, it is not necessary. Because you see now here, you are given half mark, single mark, so that loan description would not be considered. So that very simple descriptions are needed. Yes, right. I feel that you are able to understand that. Now we are going to discuss next question. Yes. Now look at next one. List 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of this business. Yes. 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses. Yes. Shall we discuss it? What are the strengths that you can visualize according to this given paragraph? Yes, Himashi. Now give me your answers. You may have some ideas.
Strength is she have trained staff.
Yes, yes. Now here you see, she has completed a professional course. You see that Asha has completed a professional course on beauty culture. That is one strength. Then you see the other strength. She uses modern equipment. You see, she uses modern equipment for her business activities. And then high quality, she gives high quality services. Strength. She and her, you see her. Another one is what? Her staff is trained staff. It is also strength. Trained staff. Now, give me some weakness here. You can visualize. Now here, she has invested only 200,000, but she has got a loan that is 500,000. Then here, which means it emphasizes that she's having some financial disabilities. Look at that. She is not strong enough with regard to finance. What are the other things that you can find out? And she may have faced working capital problems because you see, she has invested 500,000, obtained loan and 2,000 from her savings account. She bought a building worth 600,000. Out of 700 her investment, 600 is spent for what? Purchasing a building. Now only 100,000 is remaining, and the balance was spent for important modern equipments for the business. And then the other 1 lakh or 100,000 is spent for that is import modern equipment. Now she's having serious working capital problem. Working capital problem is she is not having enough to do her day-to-day activities, because out of total expenditure, she has spent 100,000 for purchasing the building, and then another 100,000 for purchasing importing modern equipment. Now she is not having enough money to continue her business activities daily. Look at that. Yes, let's look at the answer now. The strengths. Look at that. Asha completing a professional course. That is a strength. She has a training staff. She has a trained staff. It is a strength. She uses modern equipment. And though it is not available, you see, her goods are quality products, or she supplies quality service. She supplies quality service. These are much important. In addition, you can write it as she supplies quality service. Look at that. Then weaknesses. Increased debt capital. She is not having enough finance. Debt capital is higher than her owner's capital. Her own capital is, that is 200,000. Debt capital is 500,000. Can you understand? She invested herself only 200,000. She obtained a loan of 500,000. So that in her business, loan capital is higher than the owner's capital. Loan capital or debt capital is higher than the owner's capital. It's a kind of weakness, a problem, internal liquidity problem. Then the other one is lack of working capital, because you see out of that 700,000, she spent 600,000 to purchase a building. Only 100,000 is there for day-to-day business activity. Out of that, she has, used that amount is for purchasing or importing new equipment, so that she's facing some day-to-day monetary problem. Just try to understand. Yes. Now, after writing, look at next question. After writing, look at next question. Describe two ways the industry to which Asha's business belongs to contributes for the economic development. Now, can you remember lesson we have discussed? How businesses contribute to economic development. How businesses develop, how do businesses develop social development. How businesses contribute to individual development. Businesses are important for individual development, community development, and then economic development. Here, our question is that how Asha's business contribute to economic development of the country. Now, this beauty salon, though it is a beauty salon, you see, refreshment, you see, is needed for the continuation of human life, so that she supports some refreshment as well as some essential services, what we call specialized service. So that our question is how her service contribute to economic development. Two facts to be written. Karna dekak liyan on, you are given 2 marks. Just try to write in any answer so that you can correct to answer by looking at the mark scheme. First, you try to write a kind of answer. See whether you are able to identify. Contribute to employment creation. You know that she has some trained workers. She has employed number of workers here, employees, so that she can contribute to economic development by supplying employment opportunities. And she can contribute to gross national production. Dalajathika Nishpadanයට දායක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Contribution to gross national production. She supports to fulfill complex wants. You see, various people, people are coming to this beauty salon to get that refreshment and increase tax income. Because you see, she has to pay sometimes tax. When he's paying tax, it is a kind of revenue to the government. Increase tax income. By contributing in this manner, Asha is able to contribute the economic development. We identified how business, in our lessons, we explain how businesses contribute to economic development, how businesses contribute to individual development, how businesses contribute to social development. Here you asked to explain how Asha's business contribute to economic development only. Economic development.
Sir, can we take that use of modern equipments get increased?
Yes, use of it is not wrong, but the problem is how can you prove that it contributes to economic development? So that you can explain by using modern equipment, she can improve or she improves her production units. If you are given such answer, you have to prove how that factor contribute to economic development, so that you can develop the answer. By importing modern equipment, she is able to produce surplus production. By producing surplus production, it can contribute to economic development. But you see, definitely, economic development is concerned, definitely employment opportunities should be there. And then gross national product should be increased. And then you see, when the economy is developed, people should be able to satisfy their needs and wants. And when economy develops, the government revenue should be increased. Nowadays, you know, because of the economic paralysis or economic downfall, you know that the even government is unable to collect its government revenue. Now, very seriously, the government is facing a serious problem of income because of that economic downfall. So that if the economy is calm and quiet and developed, it would be beneficial to the government because the government is able to collect its tax income. Identified. Just try to understand. Yes. Now look at next one. Mention 4 limitations that can be seen in this type of business. Now first you have to identify what is the type of business. What is the type of business? Mention 4 limitations that can be seen in this type of business. Then after identifying the type of business, and then thereafter, you can answer some drawbacks or some limitations with regard to these type of businesses. Just see whether you are able to identify the type of business. Is it a sole trader business? Is it a partnership business? Or is it a kind of company? Whatever the business is, and first you have to identify the type of business, and thereafter you can write some limitations with regard to this type of business. Yes, see whether you are able to identify the type of business first. And if you identify the type of business, and then you just try to write the limitations of that type of business. I'll give you 2-3 minutes to complete it. Yes. See whether you are able to identify it. Now mention for limitations that can be seen in this type of business. So that this is a sole trader business. As a sole trader business, the unlimited liability of the owner. Owner is having unlimited liability. You see, let's just try to understand that this unlimited liability. Yes, this question is somewhat difficult for you to answer because this related to the second term, most probably. So that please write the answer only. Problems, difficulties will arise or increase when additional capital is required. Possibility of decisions made by the owner himself being unsuccessful. As a single person, he takes decisions. Sometimes you see individual decision may be unsuccessful. Not a legal entity. This is not a legal entity. ඒක නීතිමය එකකයක් නෙවෙයි. ඒකද බොහෝ විට මේ සෙකන්ඩ් ටර්ම් එකට තමයි උත්තර ලියන්න ලේසි. ෆස්ට් ටර්ම් එක ටිකක් අමාරුයි. කමන්න අපි දැනට ලියාගමු ඔය විදිහට. See, no continuity. Please write them out. I'll explain you later. No continuity. Management being inconvenient. Management being inconvenient. Bearing losses alone. Bearing losses alone. Yes, let's move on to next part. Now look at next part. We completed, yes, only two parts. Yes, only two parts. I have a third one, fourth one, fifth one. Mention for limitations that we have. Yes, we have for resources with examples in addition to entrepreneurship. Yes, resources, right? 4 resources with examples in addition to entrepreneurship. ව්‍යවසායකත්වයේ හැර 4 resources employed by Asha's business. See, that gives you few minutes. Write 4 resources with examples in addition to entrepreneurship employed by Asha's business. Now look at the answer. Rashmi, can you visualize land, labor, capital, knowledge? Can you visualize them? Nikki, can you see this on the screen?
Section is shared, sir.
Yes. Yes, now look at the answer. Here you see land, except that is entrepreneurship, other resources used by Asha. Land, location of the building. Building is situated on the land, so that land is a resource. The other one is labor. You know that business resources, factors of production. We have already discussed what factors of production are. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, time, knowledge, information. You see, can you remember these are the factors of production or resources of production or business resources? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, knowledge, information, and then time. Now these are what we call business resources. Now here Asha is concerned. She uses land. The explanation is location of the building, and then labor, employees, and then capital, building, beauty salon, equipments, money. Those are the capital items. And then knowledge, employees knowledge, management knowledge, and then time, employee working hours of equipments, machine hours you can see. And then time taken to take decisions, then information you can see. Information on consumer taste, පාරිභෝජන රුචිකත්වය පිළිබඳ තොරතුරු, new technological information, තාක්ෂණික තොරතුරු, market information. You can identify market information. Please write them out as answer. Look at those items. Right. Now let's move on to the next part. Yes. Now this is somewhat alien to you. Make product වලට දුරස්ත. නමුත් මම මෙතන දැම්මා. This is related to the second term. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ අයිති වෙන්නේ second term එකටයි. නමුත් මේකේ අපි පොඩි අදහසක් විතරක් ගමු. Explain 4 ways that Asha can further improve entrepreneurial characteristics and skills. ආශාට තමන්ගේ ව්‍යවසායකත්ව ගති ලක්ෂණ සහ නිපුණතා වර්ධනය කරගන්න පුළුවන් 4 ways මොනවද කියලා අහනවා. Now normally you see people can improve their entrepreneurial skills and characteristics by what we call self evaluation. තමන් විසින්ම තක්සේරු කරගන්න. Self evaluation. Identify one's own entrepreneurial skills and identify skills needed to develop further. අපි විසින්ම තේරුම් ගන්නවා මට තියෙන හැකියාව මොනවද, මගේ දක්ෂතා මොනවද, ඒක තේරුම් අරගෙන develop කරගන්න. One can identify his own weakness and own strengths, his capacities, his entrepreneurial skills, and you see that type of qualities, and he can improve his entrepreneurial skills. Second one, by getting training. Most of people can develop their qualities by getting trained. So that training, self-evaluation, training, participating in various training programs to develop entrepreneurial competencies. Entrepreneurial competencies develop කර ගැනීම සඳහා යාට පුළුවන් පුහුණුව ලබා ගන්න. Next one. Education. Through education, one can develop entrepreneurial skills. Through education. Now, even with that reason, you are developing your, you see, you get education with the intention of developing your skills. And then all to develop your, improve your skills, skills of various competencies. Education. Education on entrepreneurship. Profiting from experiences. Profiting from experiences. අත්දැකීම් වලින් යමක් ගන්න. නේද? Now most of business people, they can do businesses, and by getting some experiences, he can develop business. Profiting from experience. Profiting from experience. Right. Now we have completed that question, and thereafter once again look at, we have completed that question in 2022. This is the question with regard to 22, L22. Now last question. Look at that 2021. 2021. Look at the first question of 2021. Automobile Company Limited assembles and sells zero emission motor vehicles. Zero emission क्या ना carbon dioxide නැත්නම් විෂ zero emission vehicles in Sri Lanka. Although a large number of employees work in the company, an employee performs only a single task. In addition, the company offers after-sale services for customers. Moreover, the company began to produce spare parts this year. This company pays a large sum of income tax to the government and contributes to regional infrastructure development. Look at the first question. Name the two products that the company offers for customers with examples. Name the two products that the company offers for customers with example. 2 marks. Yes. Right. Now start answering that question. I'll give you 2-3 minutes to complete it. Look at question number 1. Here, see whether you are able to identify. Name the two products that the company offers for customers with examples. Goods, motor vehicles, spare parts. Pay attention on products. Products are concerned goods and services. Then motor vehicles, spare parts. That is one example. Now services, after sales services, sales or marketing. Now these are the possible. There are products in the sense that you see product can be broadly defined as goods, services, idea, understand, persons. That type of things are considered as products. Here two products, goods, motor vehicle and spare parts, services, after sales service, marketing services. Just try to understand. Yes, and thereafter state for ways how the company has contributed to sustain the economy. Sustain the economy. Once again, how economy is beneficial to by this business. How economy of the country is beneficial over this business. Yes. Now I'll give you a few minutes to complete it. See whether you are able to complete. Answer as you like it, and then later we can compare your answer with the possible answer according to the mark scheme. Yes, I'll give you a few minutes. Just try. Right. Let's put the discuss next one. State 4 ways how the company has contributed to sustain පවත්වා ගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩෙවලොප් කරන්න. ඉස්සෙල්ලා අර ඉකොනොමික් ඩෙවලොප්මන්ට් කියලා අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තා. ඒකම තමයි මේ කියන්නේ. Contribution for national production. දැන් මම 2020 ලියපු අයට ඒ ප්‍රශ්නට උත්තර ලියපුවාම මේකට ලියන එක මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. 2020 ඔය පැහැදිලි කිරීම තේරුම් ගත්තාම creating employment opportunities පේනවනේ මේ ප්‍රශ්න ඒ උත්තරෙමනේ මේ තියෙන්නේ. Increase in government tax revenue, regional infrastructure development, additional එකක් තියෙනවා innovation. That is why I told you මේ පහුගිය අවුරුදු වල ප්‍රශ්න ටික හරියට තක්සේරු කරගත්තාම අපිට it is easy. දැන් මේකම තමයි 2022 එනකොට පොඩි වෙනස්කමක් කරලා දානවා. ඒ නිසා we should be well aware of these areas. Contribution for national production, creating, you see the content is same. Words are different, but content is same. Creating employment opportunities, increasing government tax revenue, regional infrastructure development, innovations. Write it down, please. Yes, right. Then now let's move on to the next part. Based on the above case, name 4 forces that influence the business of the company. Based on the above case, name 4 forces that influence the business of the company. මේ සමාගමේ ව්‍යාපාර කටයුතු සඳහා බලපෑම් කරන බලපෑම් සහගත වන බලවේග 4ක් ලියන්න කියනවා. I'll give you few minutes, 2-3 minutes to complete it. Just already we have learned all these things. මේ ටික ඔක්කොම අපි ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙන්නේ. දැන් මේක හරියට apply කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. Forces. ව්‍යාපාරය කෙරෙහි බලපෑම් කරන බලවේග. Look at the forces: owners of the business, employees of the business, customers related to the business, government, natural environment, so that suppliers related to the business, four forces that influence the business of the company. Owners are influencing, employees are influencing, then you see customers are influencing, government, natural environment, and suppliers. Write it down, please. Next question, B. Explain two reasons why business should aim for profit. Explain two reasons why business should aim for profit. Why a business is aiming profit. Yes, just see you are able to answer that question. Yes, see whether you are able to identify. Explain two reasons why business should aim for profit. First one is business development or reinvestment or continuity of business. Return of for the investment. Return of employees. Look at that. Now, for example, the business should pay salaries to the employees. To pay salaries to the employees, people need, the business needs profit. And then the other one is, you see, the investors invest their money in a business with the intention of earning something, earning a return to the investment. Even I am doing this class with the intention of earning. I should have a return. In the same way, businesses need return. Return in the sense that you see something for the investment, so that businesses earn profit with the intention of getting a kind of return. And then the business is targeting the development of the business. Business development. So that with the intention of developing the business, with the intention of earning something for the business, with the intention of giving salaries to the employees, the business think of earning a profit. Try to understand. Yes, now move on to third question and read it out and understand whether you are able to answer that question. Right. Then now let's look at that question. In addition to the after-sales services, briefly describe two other services that can be offered by the company for customers. After-sales services අපි කියනවා අලවීම් පසු සේවාව කියලා කියන්නේ. අලවීම් පසු සේවා. Most of companies they supply those services as a benefit to the customers. After selling their goods, they give some services with regard to especially electronic items are concerned, washing machines, TVs, and then AC machines, that type of things. After selling and after fixing, maybe after 6 months, after an year, according to the request of the customer, they come and do some services without charge or with charge. What? Insurance facilities can be given. Finance or credit facilities can be given. And then transport facilities can be given. Look at the answer. Some businesses can involve in insurance activities. Now here's, look at the paragraph here. Zero emission motor vehicles. And then you see AMW is concerned, they supply some leasing facilities. AMW that is company, they sell vehicles. In addition to selling vehicles, AMW supply that is insurance services, insurance facilities, and they are having their own AMW leasing company. They supply leasing facilities. You see, they register the vehicle for the customer. That type of things can be given by the company to the customers. Look at that. Supplying insurance facilities, and then supplying finance or credit facilities, transport facilities, that type of things. Yes, look at next question. Explain what is meant by an employee performs only a single task. Employee performs only a single task. සේවකයෙක් එකම කාර්යයක් පමණක් සපයනවා. What is meant by? සේවකයෙක් එකම කාර්යයක් පමණක් සපයනවා කියන එකෙන් අදහස් වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? State two advantages the company can obtain from it. State two advantages that the company can obtain from it. Yes, just think. I'll give you 2-3 minutes to think of that. Yes. Okay, now I'll give you the answer. See whether your employees perform a single task. ඒ කියන්නේ එකම පුද්ගලයෙක් එකම කාර්යයක් කරනවා නම් ඒකට කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Division of labor. Can you remember? Division of labor. Now, under this technical approach, you see, especially in modern business organizations, all the employees are not involving all the tasks. Only a single person is involving a single task. Now, in the garment factory, for example, in the cutting division, there are a number of employees. They involve only in cutting of that is clothes. And then sewing division, those employees are only sewing items. And then embroidery division, and then packing division, and then ironing division, you see, finishing division, assembly division, different divisions are there in the garment factory. In the each division, the worker is involving in a single task. That is what we call the division of labor. අපි කියනවා ශ්‍රමය බෙදා හරිනවා ශ්‍රම විභජනය කියලා කියනවා. According to division of labor. Now, for example, even in this school, accounting teacher teaches only accounting. Business studies teacher teaches only business studies. Economics teacher only economics. IT teacher only IT. That is where you see the division of labor. Every employee involves in a single task. There are some advantages of that. Now look at that. If the division of labor is practiced in a business organization, there are some benefits. What are they? Job specialization. Now, when a person or an employee is involved in the same task for a long period of time, understand? Now, even myself, I'm continuing to teach economy, that is business studies, for a long period of time. And then I become specialized in teaching business studies. Understand? So that in a garment factory, if an employee involves in sewing of clothes, he or she becomes specialized in that special area. Understand? That is what we call division of labor, the result or the benefit. Next one, reduction in unit cost. Because you see, every employee becomes specialized in doing a special task. So that you see, when a single person becomes specialized in doing something, you see the unit cost can be minimized. Unit cost of a unit is minimized. Increasing production volume, number of units can be improved. Promoting innovations. It means, you see, he becomes promotional or he becomes innovated, because when the single person is involving in the same task for a long period of time, he can make sometimes innovations. අලුත් දේවල් නිර්මාණය කරන්න පුළුවන්, because he becomes specialized in that field. Look at that answer. Yes, and after writing that answer, move on to the next one. Explain 3 benefits the business could accomplish by fulfilling social responsibility. Can you remember we have discussed that social responsibility? After writing answer for B part, now start answering question number 5th one. Yes. Now look at the next part. Explain 3 benefits the business could accomplish by fulfilling social responsibility. You know that we are having the 3rd lesson. That is social responsibility of business. Sorry, 2nd lesson. Social responsibility of business and business ethics. Now, by doing some social responsibilities, by fulfilling social responsibilities, businesses are beneficial in various ways. Now, our question is that what are the social benefits that the business can accomplish? You see, by performing social responsibilities. Assure continuity of the business, increase goodwill of the business, ensure trust on business, increase customer satisfaction, easy to achieve business goals and objectives, expansion of market, ability to face competition, ability to ensure investment. Look at that. Ensure continuity of business, assure continuity of business, increase goodwill of the business, ensure trust on business, increase customer satisfaction, easy to achieve business goals and objectives, and then expansion of markets, ability to face competition, ability to secure investment. Look at that. Please start answering that question, Nasri. Right. පුතේ අපි යමු last area. Yes. Explain 4 ways in which motor vehicle manufacturers could contribute economic sustainable development. Can you remember? We have understand what sustainable development means. So that sustainable development is concerned, there are 3 areas of sustainable development. What is it? Economic sustainable development, social sustainable development, and natural or environment sustainable development. Environment sustainable development, social sustainable development, economic sustainable development. Now Sri Lanka is concerned economically, Sri Lanka is not sustained. Because why? Nowadays you know that Sri Lanka is a bankrupted country. It is officially accepted as country is bankrupted. So that economically we are not sustained. Now environment is concerned, even environmentally we are not sustained, because you see now if 2-3 days rain continues, you see some areas of the country are given red notices. Understand? And socially we are not sustained. Why? There are some ethnic conflicts within the country, some religious conflicts within the country. Now various conflicts are there, so that socially we are not sustained, and then economically we are not sustained, and then environmentally we are not sustained. For example, yes, explain 4 ways you see contribute to environment sustainable development. You see, formulating environmentally friendly policies. Look at that. Formulating environmentally friendly policies, producing electric vehicles, minimizing, you see, emissions, producing electric vehicles, producing light vehicles or fuel efficiency, managing waste and raw materials, you're reusing, recycling raw materials. You know that raw materials can be reused, recycled. Producing vehicles operated by renewable energy sources. Now you see, for example, now electric vehicles. You see, electric vehicles, you see now solar power, use solar power. Use of solar power, you know, there are some electric vehicles. You see, they are necessary, there is energies generated through solar power instead of using fossil power fuels. This is one benefit, because it minimizes what we call environment harms. Write down that as well. Yes. Now look at that. Now we have been continuing to discuss some past paper questions based on first term with regard to 24. Then you see we have already discussed some you see questions based on the syllabus, and I have given you some reading materials to be read out and understand. And we are learning the subject in using different ways, by discussing past question papers, by discussing some model papers, by discussing some term papers, and and thereafter we are going to discuss some term papers, first term papers from various areas, and then we have discussed some questions based on the first term syllabus, and then you are reading the reading material at home. Now this is how you have to develop the subject. I feel that in the first term examination you should be able to score high marks. And then if you are able to score high marks in the first term, definitely you can improve your knowledge in the second term as well. Understand? Now I feel that we have continued today for rather 2 hours. Now even next week, we are going to continue that lesson. I feel that now today we are not having chance to discuss furthermore.